Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Sunday, April 13th. So, what are we going to talk about today? I thought the Sunday sermon should be on being thankful for what you do have instead of what you don't have. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekend, Sunday, April 13th of 2025. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I think it's human nature to a certain extent, but we tend to complain about what we do have and wish for things that we don't have instead of cherishing the things that we do have sitting right in front of us. Sounds kind of crazy, huh? Well, I can just tell you about my own personal dealings and see if they ring a bell with you. I'm writing a book on my surgical Fiesta, whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that I'm having the most difficulty with is memory issues, is remembering certain aspects of what took place even long after. I have problems trying to remember things. Things seem to just start fading away quickly to where I have problems recalling them. And my daughter had made mention that she was bothered by the fact that I couldn't remember stretches in time of at the hospital of where she had been with me waiting for all that period of time. And as much as I tried to remember, I can't remember. It's just not there. And I explained to her I'd gone down this rabbit hole already before and climbed back out of, would my kids have been better off saying their goodbyes then versus dealing with a dad that has some limitations, Am I the same person that went in? No. Is it easy to admit that you're not the same person? No. She said to me early on, she said, Dad, they don't need to know that your mind isn't working like it should. Just keep shaking your head yes and no, and they'll think you're being very attentive. But the fact remains is that I don't have the capacity that I used to have. And I still remain thankful. I still thank God for every day that I get to stay here and spend time with them. And yesterday was one of those days, my daughter and her fiance and my granddaughter drove down to see me, which is a little over 2-hour drive, because my granddaughter wanted to see Papa and the cows. I think more so the cows, but I'll take it. So we went up, and the cows did their thing, standing around, pooping and everything else. So she got her little thrills and wanted to take one of the baby calves home with her. But those are the times that I need to cherish, right? Those are the here and now. The things, it's so easy to take for granted the good things going on in your life. And I have great kids, grandkids, family, and super friends that I wouldn't trade for anything, right? And as I explained to my daughter, I said, we're kind of dealt hands in life. And this is the hand that I was dealt. And I'm doing the best I can to see it through. It may not be the greatest hand, But the way I look at it is that I need to fight for what I do have. And what I can tell you is fighting to fight has been one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. You know, having to ask other people, just simply do your Metaset. You know, because I try to go out of my way as not to burden or bother anyone. I tend to keep my thoughts to myself. Because people have a hard time trying to understand. And how can they? I don't even understand. You know, I sat down to just, I call it writing a book, all right? But the main theme is I needed to get it out. I needed to get it on paper before I lost it. And you're thinking, how do you lose something? I'm telling you right now, the memory issues are real. It's trying to remember certain parts of what took place and everything. And as time progresses forward, I retain less and less of what took place at the hospital. I know I had open heart surgery, but a lot of that memory is fleeting. I can still feel the pain in my chest, all right? I know what, but a lot of the stuff that I wrote down early on, and as I read through it, actually, I use in Word, it's got a feature in review where you can have either be a guy's or a girl's voice, and it reads you what is written. So I've been listening to it. And there's certain stuff that I've talked about that I can't remember now. That's my concern. That's why I went down that rabbit hole of thinking maybe it would have been better if they had said their goodbyes, instead of watching a parent gradually fade away. The one thing I can tell you is I'm very grateful. I believe in God. I talk to God a lot, as you got well known. I'm not Bible pumping, preaching, not even close. But I tend to find myself asking Him why. What's the exercise? What's the point? Is it to give me more time? If it is, I'm very grateful. But why would you give me more time when as I go I keep losing time? And I know it could have been a lot worse off. I could just not be here to see my grandkids, my kids. But I really didn't want them to see me gradually fading away. You know, I've been dealt this hand, and I'm doing the best I can to see it through. See, the idea is to hopefully have the best hand to win the pot, right? But sometimes it's just having a good enough hand to stay in the game. You never know. Everybody else could be bluffing. And you do have the best hand. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. But it's short and to the point, hopefully, is that you don't squander what you have. To enjoy what you do have instead of complaining bitterly like I have in the past of things that I don't. Because so much good is going on in my life. It could be so much worse. And I'm so much better off than a lot of people that are still out there struggling. I'm still fighting the fight. And that's all I think we can ask of each other, is to continue fighting for what we believe in and seeing our hand through. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll be here bright and early, hopefully, tomorrow morning.